Hello. Okay.
We had, so we interviewed the Lesbidova ladies, and I had a couple cocktails, I'm not gonna lie, but we were also just like not. I was in the Cape and Jamie was in a rental house, and we were 20 minutes in before I realized I wasn't recording on the Zoom.
Oh no!
I didn't have their audio, and it was this horrific pit in my stomach, and I had to stop them mid-story, and then we had to start all over.
Oh, you had to start over. Oh no!
They were like, so we have to do it all. I was like, yep. My voice was like.
That was good. That was fun.
Yeah, they were troopers. So that was
hopefully
good.
it was better the second time.
There was some good moments the second time.
Let's just say it was. Yes, sure was.
I mean, our acting, like we hadn't heard it already, was really the best part.
Phenomenal, really. Oscar award winning.
No, we ran through everything, right? Like,
yeah, I think we're ready to start. If you
are, you guys ready to start? Are you feel good?
Yeah. We're good. And
there's nothing off the table, or I mean, it doesn't matter, because even if we're in the middle of the conversation, you can say, wait, we don't want to say that, and we edit, so we can edit anything out. So.
Okay.
And that goes like tomorrow. If you're like, oh, I wish they hadn't asked that, we can cut tomorrow too. We've got some time.
Okay, you're making me nervous now.
You're like, what am I about to say?
We couldn't be further from gotcha, people. Seriously, it's this is so easy peasy.
We don't really know how to interview. We just let you guys tell your story, and
the truth of Living Rosa finally comes out.
Living Rosa.
By the way, the producer in me is like, yes.
All right, should we do that?
All right, here we go.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
That was like syncopated, Jamie. We were
I know. Look at us. COVID style. We're getting real syncopated with our
look at us here with Tara and Mandy from Living Rosa. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We met these guys. Well, we kind of like virtually met at an event called Baby Boom, which is like an influencer event for people in the family space. And we were all like stalking them, like, please be on the podcast. And now here we are.
It's so funny because this particular Baby Boom, they reached out to us because they want to, I'm going to use the totally wrong word. What do they want to do with it? They
diversify.
Want to diversify. Thank you. I was going to use such a wrong word there.
I don't even know what you're going to say.
It's too late in my head. They want to diversify it. So they had the LGBTQ aspect, and they had the people of color. They were really trying to diversify this event. And so when I saw that, Tara messaged me. I think we messaged each other. And when Tara said she was gay, I was like, I don't know. Or maybe I just stalked you on Instagram and saw that you were LGBTQ. And then I was like, oh my God, we have to have them. So that's how this happened.
What did you say? Hi, I'm Tara.
No,
I'm gay. Be my friend.
I definitely didn't say that, but I think I wrote that we were like, same-sex parents in our little like bio. So she probably saw it.
She said that's what it was.
Yeah, I said, hi, I'm gay. Have me on your podcast.
And I was like, I'm gay, Jamie. Nice to meet you. No, I also like went and stalked everybody on the social, like when I got a message. So
it was, by the way, it was very unlike Jamie. We're both like sort of like the worst networkers ever. Like when we went to the original Baby Boom last year, we were like just standing in a corner. We were like, we have to go talk to people. And then we just wouldn't. We were like awful.
No,
like,
that's how we are.
We talked to a couple people, but it was so awkward. But this was easier to network because I didn't have to look at anybody's face. I could just send a message.
I agree. I worked really hard this time on the Baby Boom because I think it was virtual. I was like so comfortable. I was like, hey, I'm Tara.
Yeah, totally. Me too. I like reached out to a bunch of people and said, be sure to watch our live stream. Don't miss it. So. And it works because we got you
guys. Like we've been rambling on about ourselves, which is like annoying. So like let's talk about you because really it's about you being on our podcast. We always start with everybody with the 30-second elevator pitch. And I have like this little maybe
wow, no pressure.
Ever so slightly intimidating
timer.
But we want you to know that we have timed ourselves and we blew it. So we're very compassionate. You do as long as you need to.
You keep going and then we'll tell you how far you went over, basically.
Okay. I told Mandy to prepare for this. So
I was going to say who's doing this, but I'm doing it.
I told you that.
Oh God, good thing I took notes.
Okay.
Well, notes.
Tell me when
you wrote it down.
I wrote half of it down and then you're like, oh, I'm going to go on the Zoom call now. So I didn't get to finish.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
Just wing it.
Okay. Are you ready, Mandy?
I'm ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
Okay. On your mark, get set, go.
Okay, so we are Tara and Mandy. We're better known as Living Rosa on social media. We met on MySpace, very retro, in 2006. And then in 2008, I moved to New York to be just friends with Tara, but then we ended up getting married in 2014. 2015, we had our first child. We had our children through reciprocal IVF. So basically, they took Tara's eggs with donor sperm and put them into me, and now we're having our fourth baby.
Dun, dun, dun.
Done.
Oh my God. Amazing.
That was like really well done.
Because you're going, go.
32 seconds.
I
Good
know.
job.
For the people that couldn't see, Tara was literally being like, hurry up.
I know. I was like, oh God, I looked at this for 2 seconds.
I'm
and
not
I didn't look at it
competitive. No,
anymore.
not at all.
It doesn't even matter. It's just a fun game we play. So Mandy, have you given birth to all the children?
Wait, I have to know about MySpace before you go into that.
Okay. All right. MySpace. We could
Like,
take
how
it
did
back.
anybody meet on MySpace?
So what year did you say it was?
2006.
Yeah. So I had this like little independent online magazine with my friends in high school, and we interviewed bands. And I guess we interviewed a band from her hometown that like came to New York. She's from Illinois. So for some reason, that's how like we got friends through MySpace. And then I slid into her like messages, her DMs. I guess back in the day.
I think it was called an inbox back then.
Yeah, the inbox.
You've got mail.
Yeah. And then we just started talking about music, and then, the rest is history. Then we made babies.
Oh my God. Well, you guys have been together basically your whole lives. It feels like, because you were in high school in 06.
Yeah, I just had graduated high school, and you were still in high school.
I graduated 07, yeah.
Wow, meant to be, huh?
Crazy.
I love it. So, and when you first met on MySpace, you were not gay?
No.
Oh.
No.
Or maybe we were. I don't know.
Well, you probably were. You just
were like
weren't
still
out.
in algebra. So like, how did you know anything, what you were,
Yeah.
So how'd that go down?
You want to take that one?
You can talk. I feel like I was talking.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Well, it's really complicated, but I'll try to sum it up. So we were friends, and we decided that I was going to go visit her because we never actually met. So we were just like talking.
And our parents were crazy enough to let us do that.
Yeah, they were. But like your mom picked me up at the airport. So, so we hung out, and we were still like just friends. But I think like, I don't know, it was weird. I feel like, I don't know. It was like, not really, we weren't friends, but like, we didn't.
Because there was always like this underlying feeling of like
we loved each other.
I think I really liked this person.
we loved each other as friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good friends.
Right.
Yeah. We had pet names for each other. I used to call her Cupcake.
It was really gay.
Pancakes. Like, it was the gayest thing
nothing
ever.
Physical, I guess.
That's pretty gay. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm never calling Jamie Cupcake.
Absolutely not.
So that's pretty gay.
Yeah, it was pretty gay. We don't even do that anymore. That's how.
We have 400 children.
But yeah. So then I think you visited me, or I don't.
Yeah.
remember.
Then I visited you maybe like once, and then you visited me again.
Yeah, we visited a few times, and then
I came and spent like the entire summer here.
Right.
And that was like when it all went down.
That's when the physical contact happened.
Yeah.
Right.
It took a long time, huh?
Yeah, it took. I mean, we visited each other back and forth for like every other month, so it didn't really take that long. I think it was in 2007.
2007. When
Yeah.
when was the moment either of you knew, oh, this is more than that?
I think we both knew, but we just didn't discuss it.
Yeah.
So
right?
So you knew like deep down, like I have a serious crush on her, but I'm just not going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We both like knew, and we both were like fine with it, but we didn't talk about it because how our first kiss happened was like we were just like always so like close to each other. So I was like, Mandy, if you don't move, I'm gonna kiss you, and she didn't move, and I was like, well,
there we go.
There we go.
My God, that's amazing.
So yeah,
those crushes are the worst, and to not be able to talk about it, that is so hard. Like you're just obsessed, right?
it was real weird.
It was.
Were you talking about each other to other friends?
No. So we were actually like closeted for a long time after that. When did we come out? I don't even know. Should have brushed up on my notes.
like 2011.
Yeah, our first kiss happened in 2007, and we didn't come out till 2011 to anybody.
But you were together then?
Yeah, kind of like off and on.
Like we were always together, but we like invited us to, you know, explore other options.
So did you guys date other people during like from 07 to 11?
Yeah, like we went on dates. We didn't like date anybody long term, but like we went on.
Because we felt like we were so young. Like I feel like we felt like we had to figure out what we were doing because neither of us had been with another woman before. So we're like, is it just her?
Right.
Or is it like this is like,
and I think because Mandy moved into my house, like she moved into my dad's house. So she was living in my dad's house, sleeping in the same bed as me. And we were just like gay together, but like nobody knew. So it was weird.
But everybody knew secretly.
Yeah. I don't know if they knew like in the beginning because we were we were dating other people. Like I had guys at my house sometimes.
Which was so annoying.
Okay, that's my next question. So Mandy, when Tara would bring, when a guy was over or one of you was going on a date with someone else, even if it was a girl, I don't know if you dated women, but what was that like?
Well, her and one of our old friends set up a dating profile for me as like a joke because they were like, Mandy needs to go date people, which I was like low-key annoyed at.
Yeah, that was her idea.
And then I went along with it because you were high.
Yeah.
It was like, all right.
Plenty of fish.
Which I think is like a hookup site.
Yeah, now it's like for skanks, I guess. But I went on a few dates with guys from then, and it just like did not work out.
Yeah,
like, I mean, we were in love with each other.
We say we were dating, but like really we like went on a date and then we're like, yeah, we don't like that person.
Yeah.
Like that's how.
But were you worried, Tara, when she went on dates? Like I would be at home like, oh my god, this is not okay.
She wasn't.
No, I was pretty.
That was me.
I'm also picturing like you going on a date and then you're coming home and getting in bed with her and being like this. That wasn't a very good date.
No, like literally, I would leave for a date and I'd be like, bye.
We were so weird. Really weird stage of our life.
Yeah.
After we came out, everything was much better.
Yeah. And you guys keep saying we came out because you came out together.
Yeah.
It's like your whole experience is together.
Yeah.
I think we both kind of like had some internalized homophobia where like we were afraid to come out to ourselves. I don't think it was that other people would judge us. I think it was like more like how I felt about myself
or how I felt about other people feeling about me.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I went through a lot of that.
I had a hard time coming out to myself too.
It's not easy.
Yeah. Because I knew like my family. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I knew my family and I even knew Mandy's family. Like they would either get over it or they would be okay with it. Like I wasn't ever scared of that. So I think it had to do a lot with like me. And I think you were probably ready before me. I kind of was like, let's wait.
Yeah.
So did you guys have conversations like, do you want to come out? Should we come out together now? Like, was it like, it was going to be a joint coming out?
I don't really even remember like why we decided to come out.
I think I knew that like my relationship with Mandy was never going to end. So I was like, well, if it's not going to, like now that I know that like it's not going to end, then I'm good to come out because I'm not going to hide forever. But I guess I was like just testing the waters because I was like, well, if this relationship ends, I don't want to like come out and then like we're not together.
For no reason. You'd be like, well, that was dumb.
But I was like, yep, Mandy's the one. So I'm going to tell everybody.
I mean, this is 5 years in, 06 to 11, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Did you do a wedding and everything?
Yeah. We had a wedding. We had like 90 people at our wedding.
We got married in 2014.
In a barn.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was real nice.
As you do. Yeah. Awesome.
And when did you start talking about kids and like how old were you?
We actually started talking about kids before we even got married. We saw a fertility doctor before we got married because we knew that it was going to be a very long process for us to try to have kids. So we wanted to like get our answers.
Right.
We came back from our honeymoon and we were like, all right, it's baby making time. Let's do this.
Wow.
And so how old were you at that point? Like,
I got married when we were 26. And you were what?
24,
25?
25.
Wow. I was so far from
I
ready for
know.
that at that
I'm like
age.
I'm so impressed, and also
I
just like I
am.
wish I had my shit together at that age.
I know.
Like it's just like I was so much older, and I mean I didn't meet Mary till I was 33, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I didn't meet Anne till I was 30, but I was not ready even then. Nope. But anyway.
We both always knew that we wanted to have our kids younger because we wanted to like do things with them when we were older.
Yeah.
Like go on vacations. Who knows if we'll ever go on a vacation again, but
it could happen.
Damn COVID.
I know COVID's really screwing everything up. So, did you know from the start that you guys wanted to do reciprocal IVF?
No, we thought we like invented it for a while.
Aww.
We were like, first we were talking back and forth about like asking our brothers to be a sperm donor, but then we decided that would be like too weird and like family would just be awkward. So then we were like, well, what if they did an egg from you and put it in me? And we thought we were like innovators. We were like, wow, this is amazing. We go to the doctor and he's like, oh yeah, we can do that. We did that to someone like 2 months ago. And we're like, oh, okay, so we didn't invent it?
You did invent it. You take that.
So when you go to the fertility doctor and you say, we have this idea, and he's like, yeah, we can do that. Was that was it? You knew that was going to be the way, even though you heard the costs associated with that?
Well, they did some testing and stuff, and it turns out that I have the egg quality of like a 65-year-old woman.
Oh no!
Really?
So he said
at 26.
Yeah, he was like, if you were in a heterosexual relationship, you would still be in my office, and you would probably have to get either donated embryos or donated eggs. Mm-hmm. So he's like, scientifically, you guys are making the right decision.
Yeah, he was on board.
So it's almost like you got to cut corners because you found that out right away.
Yeah.
Right. But we knew the cost before we saw him, and our thought process was we like did some research and we heard like so many people did IUI like 5 times before they got pregnant, and I was adding up the numbers and I was like, I would like to just like skip that fee and just like jump right into it and like have better chances with like IVF. Mm-hmm. So that was like our thought process.
And she has no desire to be pregnant whatsoever.
No.
Oh no.
That's a smart move. Sorry, said it.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I love watching you do it, but for me, no.
Mandy, did you have any feelings about not getting to carry?
Or
not being your genetics involved?
No, I think like a random stranger could like hand me a baby off the street and I would love it like it was my own. That never really bothered me. It did make me like appreciate the way that we made our family, because it was like, we were meant to be together. Like the universe put us together and this was supposed to happen. Yeah. That my egg quality sucks. I think in the beginning though, when we first told our families, I think my mom actually struggled with the idea of it, that I wouldn't have a child that was biologically mine. Yeah, I think, Tara. We won't go into that because I don't want to say anything about my mother. But then I think after they were born and she saw it, she didn't care anymore. And she's like the biggest, I don't want to say, is advocate the right word?
Yeah.
She like tells her friends, oh, they took Tara's egg and put it into Mandy and da 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 da.
Yeah, she like talks about how beautiful it was.
And Lennon kind of looks like me. Isn't that crazy? And I'm like, well, she's your grandchild, so yeah, anything's possible. So
oh my God, it's amazing. Well, they do say that we learned from another guest actually who
adopted mom
who adopted, and she said there was this study, because clearly we haven't read any studies, but she told us that there's this study that they did that babies will start to take on the facial expressions of the parent that is taking care of them, no matter what, genetics or not. And so the baby's face will start to look like the parents in a certain way, just because they're mimicking the parents' facial expressions, which is interesting, and also really cool for families like ours, because there's always a non-bio mom involved.
Yeah, Maeve definitely smiles like me.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah. When I smile, like when I get like super excited, my nose like scrunches up, and Maeve does that. Oh, she's always done that.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, she has my smile.
Yeah, she just takes that. You know, it's really, it's cool. I love it. I love that about our families. And I love that you guys like were able, that a lot of times, like we look at this, like when somebody says they got poor egg quality, there's a sadness there, and there's there's a bit of a sob story
of loss
about that, the loss that happens. But you guys just, it's such a positive spin. I love it. It's not always how we hear it. So
yeah, I think there might have been like a part of me that was sad for like a second, but then it worked out for us, and I was just like, okay, well, this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah. And I think honestly, like, because I carried them, I grew them, and my blood went through them, and I ate to make them grow. So like, what to say that they're not mine either? Yeah.
Right. Well, we were, my wife and I looked into reciprocal IVF, and that's what we were going to do, but we ended up changing it. But we used to talk about, we thought it was the coolest thing that like the kid's bones would have been made from her, even with my egg. And so like the kid is literally of you, even though it's her genetic blueprint.
Yeah.
But you influence what genes are turned on and off in utero, which based on who you are. I mean, it's, I don't think the kid would be the same kid if Tara.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
I mean,
and that's one thing that like bothers me, like on social media, people always like say, oh, why doesn't Mandy want to have her own kid? I'm like, these kids are like 1,000% my kids.
Yeah.
Whether I grew them or she grew them or somebody else grew them, they're my kids.
And it also makes me wonder, like in retrospect, like I've know some people will have like, they'll use Mandy's eggs and they'll use like my eggs to have like lots of kids or
like
whatever.
People switch.
Yeah. And then my thought process is, well, would you look at them and say like, well, that's Tara's kid and that's Mandy's kid? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't want that either. Like, no, those would have been our kids, like regardless.
But you know, people would compare them because that's just what people do.
Yeah.
It's true. We talked to some like gay male couples who have kind of, they have had twins, but the sperm went into one guy's sperm went into this egg, and then the other guy's sperm went into this egg. So they're twins, but each one of them is genetically related to one of them.
Right.
And people ask, well, who's whose? And a lot of we've only had one couple who's like open and honest about it and like doesn't care that people ask that. Everybody else gets pretty like, how would you say, Robin? Just
annoyed.
Like
exactly.
That's none of your business. They're both mine. They're ours. You know?
Yeah.
So, but we all get those ignorant questions.
I can understand why people ask because they're just genuinely curious.
Yeah.
They don't realize that what they're asking is offensive. They just want to know because they're nosy.
Or that you've been asked that 100 times.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and you're tired of the question, and they're both mine. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to know.
So you have 3 kids now and you're pregnant now, correct?
Yes.
And you have twins. The twins are first or second?
Second.
Was that a surprise?
How'd that happen?
That was a surprise.
It was a surprise, and everyone tells us that it shouldn't have been a surprise.
Did you put more than one embryo in?
We did.
So, but there's a story though. That's what everyone says. Like, you put 2 embryos in, you should know that they were going to be 2. So when we went to have our first baby, the doctor was like, okay, like you're young, you're healthy. Mandy's uterus looks great. Tara's eggs are awesome. Best quality ever. Like, we're only putting 1 in. This is going to work.
Gave us this whole speech about tiny coffins. If we had
multiples, like
all this stuff, scared the crap out of us.
So we were like, okay, yeah, like he's right. 1, like definitely. So we did 1 and nothing happened. So the next time we were like, you know, this is a big like expense. Like, what's the worst can happen? We have 2 babies. Like, I think you can handle being pregnant with twins. And also we want 4 kids. So, you know, so we were like, we're putting 2 in. So we put 2 in and we had a chemical pregnancy and nothing. So that we're down 3 embryos now.
Wow.
And
we only had 5.
So the next time we put 2 in again, and we were like, well, we're doing 2 again because we went through 3 already. So we did 2 and we got 1 baby. So great. We got pregnant. We went through what, 4 or 5? Yeah, we went through
5.
Yeah, 5 embryos to get 1 baby.
2 and 1.
So the next time I was like, we're doing it again. We're doing 2. Like, we want to get 1 baby. We're like, we're doing 2. We'll probably just get 1, maybe if we're lucky. We got 2.
We had some medication to us, so we did like more injections to
Yeah.
make more embryos because we knew we wanted 4 kids and we had 1 embryo left. So we're like, oh, we got all this donated medication, which is like $6,000 worth
And
of
it
medication.
expires.
So we're doing more injections. And
Wait. Can you tell me donated medication? Can you go into that a little bit? I mean, I don't think
so
about that.
Tara's stepmom, her brother and his wife did IVF.
Yeah.
And they had like a ton of medication left over. And they knew that we already had Lennon at that point. And they knew that we did IVF to have Lennon. And they're like, oh, we have all this leftover medication. Do you guys want it? And we were like, yeah, we do.
Yeah. So our doctor was actually really nice. And like, I don't think it was the medication that he normally used, but he like altered our plan so it would fit for us. So
Saved us.
That's cool.
right.
And for the second, Tara, did you have to go through the process again too? Because you had 1 embryo left, right? Or you had no embryos?
Yeah. That 1 embryo that we have from the first round of IVF is this, we still have that one frozen because we've used the second batch now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had to do the injections and
Yeah, I
everything
had to
all
do the
over.
injections all over again.
Right. So you had to extract more eggs. And did you get like, I want to know how many eggs you got on every extraction because I'm crazy like that and I went through a lot of IVF.
Do you remember your?
Well, our doctor was like really good about making sure that you didn't overstimulate, because some doctors just like pump you full of all this medicine and they're like, you got 35 eggs, and then like 5 of them are good.
Yeah.
So I think the first time you had gotten 8 and 6 made it to fertilization.
Oh.
And then the second time, I think you got 12, but only 7 or 8 made it to fertilization. But when we went in for the embryo transfer for the second one with Everett and Maeve's embryos were the only 2 ready that day. They're like, the other ones are still growing. These 2 are perfect and ready to go. So we should have known then that we were going to get pregnant with twins because they were both ready.
Oh my God. I love that though. Meant to be.
I love having twins though.
I
know the
curious
pregnancy
about that.
stunk, but
It really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was hard,
really?
but it wasn't that bad.
How long did you make it before you delivered?
I was 35 weeks and 1 day.
Wow.
They were 5 pounds, but they didn't have to go to the NICU or anything.
yeah, we were really lucky.
Yeah.
Wow, meant to be. How far apart are the first and the second, or the twins and the oldest?
20 months, right?
Yeah, 20 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys were no joke. Now, I think,
Wait, and what's the age difference with the baby that's going to be in a month?
So our twins just turned 3.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
that's a little bit more.
A little bit more time.
Yeah.
Give yourself a little break. But
Yeah.
why 4?
I don't know. We just always said 4. When growing up, I just had a brother. It was just me and my brother, and we're really not that close. And my mom's side of the family, she's the oldest of 10 siblings. So like holidays were always super fun, like on my mom's side of the family. And I always knew that I wanted to have more than 2 kids because it was so boring with me and my brother, and holidays were so fun with my mom. And she came from 3.
Right.
And she hates odd numbers.
I think 3 is a terrible number because there's always one kid that's left out. Like you either like, you play with one, they like gang up on each other. It was just not very good. It was not. I was like, I want an even number. And like, even now I see it with our kids, like Lennon will always pick which twin she wants to play with for the day. I'm like, you have to play with both of them. Like
the twins will play with each other and leave her out.
Yeah, or the twins will be like, no, Lennon, you're not invited. Like, I'm like, yeah.
So you have Lennon's a girl, and are the twins a boy and a girl?
They're girls too.
All girls.
All girls. Wow. Did you plan that?
No.
Oh, okay. Because you can choose.
Yeah, we don't know the sex of any of our embryos, so.
And we don't know what this baby is. We didn't find out.
Oh, that's fun. What do you think?
Yeah,
the suspense is real.
Do you have a preference or what? Yeah, I mean, preference is like the worst. Where like a hope, or I mean, you would obviously. This is ridiculous. I mean, you're gonna love them either way. But so this is like I'm stepping on landmines here. But like,
right.
If
I think we're both hoping for a boy, not because we don't have one, but because Lennon is very, very passionate about getting a brother. And she's like, I have 2 sisters. Like, this has to be a boy. for some reason she's very obsessed with boys. Like
I think because we don't have a boy in our house.
Yeah, like at school she makes friends with all the boys. Like those are her best friends, and she like thinks that having a brother would be the coolest thing, and I really want that for her because I would just feel really bad like coming home and be like, here's your other sister.
Oh, but it might happen, and then you know.
Right.
Yeah. She said she'll love it no matter what because it'll be her family.
Oh.
But she really wants a brother, so
Yeah. But other than that, I don't care. I would love to have another girl because we have all like, you know, the girl things here.
yeah.
Yeah, because if you have a boy, it's gonna be all trucks. I mean, I don't mean to gender the kids because they're gonna like what they like, but somehow my boy is so into boy things, and we tried to raise him not that way at all. Like we tried to like go the other way with it, but he wants trucks and planes, and it's really interesting. It's crazy.
Yeah, they just have their own like little mind.
Yeah,
like Lennon is very into boy things, Batman and stuff like that. That would be typically for boys, but so we do have some of that stuff if we do have a boy.
But Everett and Maeve are like complete opposite baby dolls, princesses. They wear a different princess dress every day.
That was my daughter.
And like we didn't do that.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't do.
No.
And Lennon didn't do it either because she didn't have any princess dresses. She would not want anything to do with them.
Nothing pink, nothing sparkly.
Yeah, my daughter's the same. She hates the princesses. She's not into it. So funny.
I wanted to ask, like, after having twins, like, I don't know if you had a C-section or if you went naturally, or like, is it hard to go back to like a Singleton after having twins, or is that just like easy? At this point, is it just like you're a kangaroo mom and you're just putting babies in there and taking them out?
Oh my God. I had a C-section with the twins. I was planning not to have a C-section, but it just didn't work out. I don't know. It's kind of weird because I don't really remember what it's like to be pregnant with one baby.
Are you all like, this is so easy?
Yeah. I mean, now it's like getting hard because I only have a few weeks left.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like I'm done being pregnant now.
Mm-hmm.
But like, for instance, when I was pregnant with the twins, they were due in August and I took off from work June 1st because I was like, I'm done.
You're like, I can't.
I'm
anymore.
still working now. Like,
yeah.
But I'm not one to complain very much.
Yeah, you're
you
a
can
really
ask
good
Tara.
pregnant person.
I don't complain.
Oh.
I would
It's
never
hard.
be able to tell you're having a baby in a couple weeks. Like, never. You just seem
No.
so like together and just like, you know, like I was like huffing and puffing at the end. I was like, you know,
You should see me try to bend over.
Stairs are the hardest. Stairs.
Oh my God.
I
and
hated
phone
the
calls. I
stairs.
was always winded on phone calls. Like, for no apparent reason, I was always on the cell. Like, and then, like,
Oh,
Like,
that's
what
like-
are you doing?
No, that's Robin. Our first season, I was pregnant and I had heavy breathing in the mic.
oh,
I
that's
couldn't
true.
stop it. Remember?
That's
I was
right.
so paranoid about my heavy breathing.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Anyway, pregnancy's tough.
It is.
So, how
So-
did you go ahead, Jim?
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, a little bit of a transition. Like, you have all these kids; they're close together. You're young. Like, how did you, like, decide you were gonna start to do YouTube and like start to document your family? And by the way, I love that you do it because Jamie and I always talk about how representation matters, and I feel like you're out there really like showcasing a family and showing that we're just like you, except we're two moms.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I think we started YouTube before we started our family. So, well, we started YouTube because we wanted to document creating our family.
Because when we thought we invented reciprocal IVF, we couldn't find any information about it.
Yeah.
So we were like,
Oh.
oh, let's record this. So if anybody else wants information about it,
We were going to teach
maybe when they
everyone about
Google it, they'll find us.
Right.
And and I think we also wanted to, so like one day we can just, you know, show our kids like what we did to create them and like how we went about making them. So I think the plan was to just like do the process of creating our family, not like vlogs like we do now. It just kind of turned into that because we started throwing up videos and we got some like people following us, and then we got a little community going and we made friends, and it just kind of evolved. And
Yeah,
then
we
all
were
of a
going to
sudden,
stop after Lennon was born.
right, all of a sudden it was like Hallmark was like, oh, we want to pay you to like promote our product. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Like,
Hallmark?
what is
What?
going on? I'm like,
Wow.
this is crazy. You can make money doing this. And at the time, like, I was a full-time nanny. So I was a nanny and doing that on the side. And then, yeah, it just kind of evolved. And you had Lennon, and I was still a nanny. The family that I worked for was amazing. And they were just like, well, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to bring the baby with you. Right. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
sure. So I had,
friends with them.
Cool.
yeah, we're still friends with them. So then when she was pregnant with the twins, I was still working for them. And I was like, well, I can't do it. Like, I can't bring Lennon and the twins. And their kids were actually like going off to school at this point. So it was like perfect, like transition time of like their kids were going to go to school. And then I was like, well, I guess I'll just like, continue with this.
See how much money I can make from doing this.
Yeah, this little platform that we have going on here.
It's amazing. Every time we talk to an influencer, I try to pick your brains, because how did you get so many followers? Robin and I try to go viral all the time. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen.
By the way, I just wanted to say that this is me waving my son out of the room, and he just goes, "Are you doing a live stream? I almost just walked into my underwear." I was like, "Get out! Get your tiny butt out!"
And that might be a part of the reason why we don't go viral.
Yeah,
But that's
Maybe you should let him walk in. Then
I know,
maybe you would.
no. But it's like, how did it happen? You start documenting your process, and then you just got thousands of followers. Like, how does that happen?
I have no idea either.
I honestly don't know. Like, I wasn't trying. Like, I know people try. Like, I've heard people say like, oh, let's do this networking thing. And I honestly don't know. Like, I'm just like being me and trying to, I mean, I know like a couple times, like we've made friends who were also making videos, and like we would talk with them and we would get some of their following. But other than that, like, I don't know how we grew.
Yeah, it's not like we released like a viral video or anything like that. It just kind of happened.
Well, and what year was it when you started?
2014. Yeah.
So I mean, I imagine there weren't a ton of like same-sex couples documenting pregnancy. So I imagine that helped.
Yeah, it was like us and I think like a group of like maybe 4 other people that I can think of that I saw on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we connected with them, and
not to like toot our own horns or anything, but I feel like part of the reason that people like us is because like we're a same-sex couple, but we're not like in your face like, hey, we're 2 moms. Like we're a family and we're normal, and
right.
We're not like in your face like trying to tell you that we're gay. We're just us.
Well, my favorite is like like the followers that we have that are like, hey, I'm not gay, but I love you. And I'm like, okay, you could still love us. Like, you don't have to be gay to be here. Like, and you didn't have to tell me that, but thank you. Like, I don't know. It's just really funny.
It's like they feel like they have to come out to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you fit it all in with young kids? Like, I mean, you guys are posting videos pretty close to daily?
Yeah, we post 5 days a week. So it's a lot. I do editing at night, and
she pretty much does everything.
I was going to say, you don't have anybody out of house. You're doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I try to do like emails, when the kids are eating and stuff.
And lately, one day a week, her aunt has been coming over and like playing with the girls for a couple hours, and she'll like lock herself in here and get like a bunch of work done.
Yeah, I tried to throw that into my aunt, like, hey, any Monday or Wednesday you want to come over? Like, the kids would love to play with you.
Yeah. Wow,
she's
it's
like,
hard.
Okay.
And so are you always like worried about creating content? Are you always like, is your phone always at the ready?
No.
I think we're pretty laid back. Like,
I like you were saying the other day, like you've heard like people like plan their Instagram posts and stuff.
Yeah. And now I feel like a lot of pressure. I'm like, should I be planning my post? Because I'm like, I literally write the post and then I give it to Mandy and I'm saying, can you proofread this? Because I'm terrible at spelling. So that's her job and everything. And then I'm like, it gets posted. Like, I'm like, I would never like plan out, oh, Monday I'm going to post this. I mean, unless it's like a sponsored post, you have to plan it out, but
yeah, but like you'll just get like a cute picture of the kids and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to post this.
I feel like it's a lot of pressure once you start like looking at what other people are doing. So I try to like stay away from that because I feel like once I feel the pressure's on, then I get overwhelmed, and I'm like, not a great mother either when I'm trying to stay home and take care of 3 kids. So
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, like it never feels like you're a good person when you're like, I'm sorry, I really just have to capture this for social media.
Yeah.
It's like, especially as a parent, it's like, oh.
Right. Yeah, with our kids, it's like if they don't want the camera on them, then the camera's not going on that day. It's like I'm not gonna like, sometimes they will love the camera. They'll be like, get the vlog, like I'm gonna do this. And then other days it's like, nope. And we're like, okay, like,
but there's so many people like on YouTube and stuff that won't say no to if their kid says no, they're like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. It's like YouTube has turned into this like space, like not too friendly space, I've noticed. So I don't know.
I mean, I see like, go ahead, Jamie, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask how old are your kids now?
4.5 is our oldest, who's like basically 14. She acts like 14-year-old.
I have one of those.
And 3. The twins are 3.
Wow.
Well, I feel like you go ahead. I'm sorry, Jamie.
No, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead. I'll ask mine after.
I feel like people are responding to you. You guys put out such like a warm energy, and you're just, I like that you're not like influencers first. You're just kind of like, it seems like you still have that same thought process of just wanting to share your story if and when it seems like the right moment, but not like, I got to capture this. Like, and I think that must come across to your followers.
Yeah, well, for me, it's like, I love this. I love that it turned into a job because I've always wanted to have like a career, but I also always wanted to be like a stay-at-home mom, and I didn't want to have to send my kids to daycare. So for me, editing is like a hobby of mine. Like I love editing cute videos of my kids. Like I love watching them and like things that they do, and it's just really fun for me. So I feel like this is like the perfect job for me. And then also in return, we get like the sweetest messages from like our followers or, people that are just like, thank you for posting. Like it makes my day. And I'm like, how did I make your day with just doing something that I love? Like, that's amazing.
But
like,
I don't think it's just the videos either. Like, to compliment you.
Oh,
when you post an Instagram picture, you type like such heartfelt things instead of just being like hanging out by the pool, fish emoji. Right. Like you like what you type like comes from your heart, and it's like a sweet story.
Yeah, well, I also like writing too.
You like writing, and before all of this happened, she had like a Tumblr. I don't know if you guys know what Tumblr is.
Yeah.
She would like type like these long posts on Tumblr that were just like so beautifully written, and you always wanted to write a book. So I just feel like when you type things on like Instagram, it's kind of like a blog for you, and you just like write these nice things.
You're so sweet.
I know, I'm embarrassing you.
Oh, you guys are so
she doesn't
cute.
like to be complimented.
So cute though. It's like I'm so heartened to see you with 3 kids and a 4th on the way, just still like being so loving.
I know.
Suck, Gene. It's gonna be nice for our wives.
And my wife just was telling me about her day at work and how she had to do a presentation, and all her coworkers were like, "Ann Woods, you're so funny. You're so funny." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, you're real funny, Ann."
Yeah, and I just texted like, "Could you come turn the light on?" And I was like, "Thanks, babe." Like that's what happens here.
We gotta do better.
We're gonna
So
do
now
better.
I'm almost like afraid to ask this question because I know you're gonna come out of this way better than Robin or I do. But how has it been parenting during COVID?
I think for myself, it's been a little more difficult when we were like in quarantine mode, because I would like leave and go to work.
Right.
Yeah.
My mom and Tara would always joke like, "Oh, Mandy doesn't have to go to work. Mandy needs to go to work."
Yeah. Yeah.
She has the patience of a saint. Like, I don't know how some days I'm like, how do you deal with all 3 of them and talk to them so calmly? And I'm over here like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, it was a little more difficult, but I also ended up appreciating it more because I feel like I got to get to know my kids on a different level that I didn't really see like during the day when I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I got to know who they were more. And then when I went back to work, I cried like a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to go
Yeah,
back.
Jamie, they're definitely better than we are. That's
They
it.
are. And Tara, you've loved every minute, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to go to the park, I need to get out of this house. It's like Lennon loves to do crafts, and there's only so many craft ideas I can find, and almost only so much paper that we actually have. I'm like looking on Pinterest, and she's like, "What's the next craft? What's the next craft?" I'm like, "I just did one with you. Like that's it."
You spend like 20 minutes setting up the craft, and then it's over in like 3.
Right.
Yeah. My daughter loves crafts too, and I don't.
I hate crafting. Is she kindergarten this fall if she gets to go back?
Yeah, she's supposed to be going to kindergarten.
That's probably good because, I mean, if and when we all get to go anywhere, but like when she does, that'll balance the house back to 3 at home. Like that's probably good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, except we decided that she's not going to school.
Yeah.
Are you homeschooling?
Oh, you're going to keep her?
Yeah.
We're going to keep her home this year. I would love to send her to school, but circumstances and
it's a crazy time.
It's like, how do I send her to school as a kindergartner a full day where she's never gone to school for a full day, wearing a mask, and then coming home to a newborn? Like, it just doesn't seem right to be adding up. So
everything's so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. It's just like too risky.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, we're all in that place of trying to figure out what to do. Like, I was so happy that my school changed the plans from hybrid to remote only. I don't know for how long, but I was so happy that they made the decision because my kids want to go back. But I didn't necessarily want them to go because my kids are 9 and 11. But I was like, I don't necessarily want them to go, and my wife doesn't. And I'm like, I'm glad the school said it, so I didn't have to be the one to say it.
Right. I know, it's not fair to put this on us.
I know. I'm like, somebody in power say something, please.
Somebody just make a decision, and it's hard. I don't want the choice.
I think nobody knows. That's the problem. It's like no one knows what the right thing to do is.
Yeah.
It's an experiment.
Is that your kids or mine?
I think that's my kids.
It's not ours.
It's bedtime. It's my kids.
Like, ours is sleeping.
You guys just
I know your kids again.
Amazing. We have to come over there and figure out how you do it all.
I remember one time her aunt visited from California, and we're like, "Oh, we're gonna put the kids to bed." And like 10 minutes later, we came back, and she's like, "That was it."
She's like, "Where are they?
Where did they go? Like, why is there no screaming?" And we're like, "They're sleeping now."
Like, are you just like really regimented because of twins and because 3 kids close in age? Like, you're just or are they just really good kids?
They're just good kids.
I guess maybe
we never had a problem putting them to bed ever.
We just always did it. We just always put them to bed.
I know, right?
You have another baby coming. You better knock on.
This one's gonna be our nightmare.
Knock on the wood, because
both of us have one of the hard ones. So.
Oh man.
I was actually telling Mandy this the other day. I'm like, I'm really scared for like the baby and like sleeping at night. And she was like, why? Because like we never had a problem. And I'm like, well, because I hear these stories about like people like being tired and like
we had twins, we could do anything.
Having a hard time. And I'm like, and I've just never experienced that. Like, yeah, we wake up, feed the baby, but then they would go back to bed. I'm like picturing somebody screaming at me all night. And I'm like, what if we had like a bad one?
I had that.
I can't wait to like tune in to your channel to get the bad one. Like, I can't.
There might be no channel at that
I hope you'll keep us posted. Well, that's how we'll know. Is it'll just we'll have like a to be continued like thing that's up for a while.
You'll be like, oh shit, it was a bad one.
I mean, none of them are bad ones. They're just
they're hard.
I mean, we had twins and a toddler, and I was tired, but I wasn't like a zombie.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can do anything.
Wow. And
I hope so.
Mandy, did you breastfeed?
I exclusively pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I breastfed a little bit with Lennon, but with twins, I was like, I am not going to be like, okay, here's one, here's one, here's one. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
No.
Which I think made it easier because then we could like take turns feeding them at night and stuff.
Yeah, I find that with 2 mom couples, it is nice to have the pumping going and like keep formula if you have to, because then the other mother can feed.
We interviewed one couple that had triplets, and the non-bio mom induced lactation so that they had a rotation of just like handing 3 babies, like just handing these off.
Yeah, her cousin in California, she's like very
crunchy.
Yeah.
She like told Tara that she should do that. She read about it for like 5 minutes and she was like, hell no.
Yeah.
No.
She was like, it's a beautiful experience. I was like, all right, I'll look into it.
You're like, I could also buy formula.
Yeah. I'm going to manipulate some formula.
It comes in cases. I feel really good about that.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, how can folks, will you tell everybody like about all your projects and where they can follow you and join your little community? And by little, I mean giant.
So we have an Instagram, Living Rosa, and you can also find us on YouTube, Living Rosa. And we also started a podcast during quarantine, but it's now we're taking a break. They do that, right? On a podcast, you take breaks, and then
season 1 was over.
Season 1 was like 4 episodes maybe, and now we're gearing up for season 2.
Wait, let me say, you're in pre-production for season 2.
Yeah, we're planning. We're
Right.
planning.
Yeah.
You're planning. Yeah. Is it based on your family as well, the podcast?
So the idea of our podcast was that we were gonna, not talk about our kids because everything is just so involved with our kids, all our other platforms. It's like cute pictures of our kids and cute videos of our kids. So we were going to talk about, Tara and Mandy.
Yeah, we talked about like our coming out stories.
Yeah.
And how we met.
Mm-hmm. The more juicy stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. And
That's
that's called
fun.
Everything's Coming Up Rosa, right?
Correct. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
I forgot what it was called because it's been so long.
We really enjoyed doing it. We
Yeah.
did. It's just that we have to find the time. So
Yeah. It's consuming. It's another edit job for you too. That's work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're so glad you guys made the time to sit and chat with us. This was wonderful.
Yeah,
thanks for
you so
having
much.
us.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes. And you still have time to enjoy the rest of your night.
Yes.
I know, look at that. My kids are still awake, so I'm not going to enjoy mine. But you guys did good.
I'm just going to stay in this bedroom with the door closed, and then I'm not going out there. That's
Pretend like you're still working.
Just talk really loudly so they think that you're still recording.
Every once in a while, I'm like, that's it.
I love it.
Well,
Thank you so much, guys.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hold on one sec. I'm just going to hit stop on all these.